Yes, I'd like to potentially speak. It's Eric Tomaszewski here from Itoma Lux, London. Can I?
Hi, Eric, how are you?
Hi, Dr. Hyder. I'm doing all right. It's been quite a bit of time, I think, since our last conversation, which was, I think, in January or maybe in December, even just after the business summit. And it's good to finally see basically the next edition of your event. So thank you for giving the stage. I'm just gonna present, let's say, a couple of things and the developments that perhaps can address some of the elements, indeed, of both Western economies as well as potentially emerging one. So just a brief introduction of myself. I'm sure I met a lot of you because I've been on these events from Business Summit for almost 1.5 years. So obviously I'm quite present on this and I try to attend every single one. But a couple of words about myself. I'm Eric Tomaszewski. I'm the managing director of Itoma Lux and I'm based in London, UK. So you can imagine it's a financial center, let's say one of the main financial centers. Now, basically today I wanted to focus, instead of discussing as, some loose topic, I wanted to focus on the potential solutions. So if I can get potentially a share screen from Avishek, please, I could perhaps present some solutions indeed for financing and then potentially for sales and marketing. And as an overview, what we do as a business, as Itoma Lux, basically, we help property developers and infrastructure projects with financing, so we enable them. And then secondly, we de-risk them and commercialize with marketing and sales solutions. If I could get the share screen, please, from whoever is managing that, I could perhaps present something very briefly on the screen.
Dima, can you make Mr. Eric the co-host, please?
From my side, I am not getting the option. Lima, please try from your side, please.
Still, in the meantime, what we've done and what I want to present on the screen, being here in London, we recently partnered with a boutique investment bank with a good footprint in both Western world as well as Africa, Asia, and South America. So basically what I'm going to be presenting, I've got 3 points for today, potentially as some sort of solutions that can fit some of the participants of this meeting. First thing, and that's what should be coming on your screen straight away. With this partner, basically they've got their own fund, which has basically, which is mandated at two things. First one is property development loans. So basically for some experienced property developers that are looking, let's say, at small and medium-sized developments up to £5 million. And basically the lending possibilities and the overview is on the screen. Obviously, you can take a look at that after the meeting. I'm happy to potentially share that. But again, this should help small and medium developers in the Western world. So basically UK, Europe, potentially North America. So that's basically the first type of direct lending. Second potential type is the bridging fund. So think about it this way. Say you've got some sort of real estate and you want to release some equity to invest into something else. So that's basically the second type of funding. So we can potentially release the equity and you can invest it basically on the short-term basis in whatever else. Perhaps purchasing property at auction, or perhaps you want to buy a new home, but obviously you don't have the funds, so you want to sell the existing one. And that's exactly where this bridging funding can help you achieve these goals. And that's, as I said, from the existing fund that we manage with this investment bank. That's basically the first thing. So property development funding and bridging funding as a direct lender. Then secondly, with this potential partner that basically we've been working for quite a bit, they've got a portfolio of projects in a couple of countries that might be of interest at this meeting. Namely, the investment director from our partner has been working in Abu Dhabi Investment Authority for approximately 10 years before moving to London and basically opening their own investment bank. So we've got a good portfolio, let's say, of projects in countries in Africa, like, for example, Ghana, Senegal, Morocco, Mozambique, South Africa, and currently working together on some project in Egypt as well as Kenya. So that's basically the second thing. Now, the main thing, let's say, that I want to point to, this is international project finance, corporate, we can say. So we are first and starting point. This is not our own fund, so we are looking here as potential advisor consultant at the larger projects, at least 20 million USD. And high level, we look at the experience of the property developer or infrastructure developer. Secondly, skin in the game, because no one is going to provide you, let's say, with 100% funding. You need to have both experience, you need to have some funds invested into the project. Third thing, what are the collaterals? So, for example, you might be already owning the land, and that's exactly another thing that is a big tick off potentially for project funding. And then finally, documentation package. So anything like business plan, pro forma, Gantt plans for timing of the project and the plan looking ahead. All of this stuff is basically advised and consulted on a project by project basis. Okay, so that's basically the second thing, international and corporate finance. And as I said, we've got quite a good portfolio of this partner in a couple of countries in Africa, Asia, and Americas. And again, we've got offices in London, Nigeria, India, and Morocco at this stage. So that's the direct footprint. The last thing, very, very briefly, and I focus purely on solutions rather than going into, conversation, what can be done. So perhaps anyone from this meeting can see the feed, perhaps has got some property developers in the network, or perhaps is aware of some larger infrastructure projects. So that's exactly where potentially we can help. The last thing, and I mentioned that we also do marketing and sales. So we've got a range of solution, which is how we actually started this business before moving into proper financing, where we help with presentation of the project of the property before it's even constructed. And the business goal here is to potentially help with the sales, which means also the cash flow for the property developer before the property is built. And then secondly, present this basic, your property or your project visually to your stakeholder, like perhaps local government to get the permits, like perhaps investors and so on. So again, in summary, I hope this gives you an idea what we can do in a couple of different geographies. We can help with financing with our own fund in the West, and basically a network of family offices and private equity in the emerging geographies with some footprint. Then secondly, we can help with marketing and sales of this project. So we try to basically build a full capability for the commercial side of the business. And that would be basically, from my perspective, everything. As I said, our customers and who I'm looking for are introductions to property developers and potential infrastructure projects, inclusive of government-sponsored one, where perhaps, there's some sort of PPP, private-public partnership. That's exactly where we've got some fit. Right, so thank you very much for giving me stage for this 5 minutes. I hope this presents a couple of things. I'm gonna hand over to Dr. Haider and Business Summit team, and thank you very much for listening to me. So that was Eric Tomaszewski from Itoma Lux, and I'm gonna put my contact info on WhatsApp in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Fantastic. It's a great opportunity. I'm sure some of our friends, those who are in real estate world, like I can say one of our friends from Portugal, is he still here? He was here a few minutes before, and he is looking for a real estate investment like this to increase the to add value into his existing real estate projects, and then he wants to sell it off. Mm-hmm. Well, I think we'll connect. Mr. Avi, please take a note and see if you can connect Mr. Philip to Mr. Eric, and from there we go. Probably this could be a good opportunity, because he has a land, he has a castle which is 200 over years old and this is a heritage center that has been heritage asset that has been earmarked by the government of Portugal. Mm-hmm. And he has a castle and all those from his forefathers, and he wants to he's the owner now, and he wants to develop it. Like, he has taken the permission from the government to to build a boutique hotel of 90 rooms, a 4-star plus hotels, 90 rooms, and then he wants to build the whole thing and hand over to the buyer. He doesn't want to sell the land only. He wants to sell the project. He wants to develop the project and sell the project to somebody in advance, and then he wants to build and hand over. So that's how he's looking at it. It's a very good concept that he wants to, he has the architect, he has the design and everything. So if the buyer wants some adjustment, he can do this. It's a fantastic, I think, 13 or 15 acres of land, and very nice view and all those. He shared me all the information, and he was inviting me to visit his place last week when I was in Portugal. I was leaving during that time, so I could not really, visit his land, but I definitely wanted. So this is this gentleman. Probably we can connect you, and
absolutely looking forward to it.
I
Thank you
think
for
it
this.
could be, even at least we can sell it in advance. So like with your help, probably this could be a good thing. Well, thank you, Mr. Eric, for your valuable information. And now, anyone else we have?